Hello again. This is Eleanor Rushbury from Dudley Performing Arts. Hope you're feeling well today. We're going to sing some spring songs today, and I've chosen a lovely song that matches our spring weather. It's called Spring in My Toes, and it's all about jumping and skipping and running in our spring weather. I'm going to sing you the first verse and then I'm going to teach it to you. It goes like this. Just listen. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, a spring in my toes. I'm skipping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Do you hear that? So I'm going to sing line by line and you can sing after me. Listen first. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. Your turn. My turn. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. Your turn. Those two lines together sound like this. Listen. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. Sing those two lines together. I'm skipping along, singing a song. Your turn. I've got a spring in my toes. Remember, when we get to the top notes, you pull in to get to the high notes. Skipping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Let's see if we can sing the last two lines together. I'm skipping along. Ready? Skipping. Let's sing the whole thing from the beginning. Ready? I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I'm skipping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Well done. That's all it is. Let's sing the whole thing one more time. If I do that, that means repeat. Ready? Singing my spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I'm skipping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Well done. We then repeat the same thing, but we change the action. So the second time we do hopping along. The third time we do jumping along. And the fourth time we do running along. But the words will appear at the bottom of the screen. So let's sing the whole song. Be ready. And if you want to do some jumping and skipping and hopping to go with the actions, you can do. And let's enjoy this nice spring weather. Ready? Spring in my toes. Skipping along first of all. Sit up really well. Shoulders back. Off we go. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I'm skipping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I'm hopping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I'm jumping along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Hand jive. Good freestyle. Ready for last verse? Running this time. Off we go. I've got a spring, spring, spring in my toes. I've got a spring, spring, a spring in my toes. I'm running along, singing a song. I've got a spring in my toes. Well done. If you want to rewind this video, you can watch it again, get your family involved, and you can do Spring in My Toes with all the actions and enjoy your day. Bye.